Well, welcome to the first episode of, I'll come to you again, but welcome to the first episode of our language app exit series. This is a long time coming. I thought it'd be very nice because I and several of us have been googling on the internet for a long time coming for a Duolingo equivalent app. So I've been scouting around the scenes and I've seen a app I'd like to review, and also I have a secret something later on that I'll mention that you need to listen out for. So I will put a clip at the beginning when I find it, that for the first app I'll review is called Mazwi, meaning word in Shona. So I took a look through, being my nosy self, to see the good points and the bad points of this app, and I will go through a couple with you just in a minute. So give us a time for a breather. If you want to have a drink, we will come back. So let's take a look at some of the features I think will be very handy for all of us to either start looking for when you're searching for a language learning app for Shona, or just in general, as it's nice to see that a couple of people who've got the skills of making apps are developing ongoing apps as we go. So I decided to make this series because as people progress and have apps developed, I will be checking in with you to tell you some highlights of these as they progress over the years. First of all, then, we go back to Mazwi. I took the time to look through this app. A bonus for those who like freebies, it is a free app. So I hope people are celebrating over there in the back, and over there to our left, people are celebrating that this is a free app. But bear in mind that the person who's created this has taken the time out to collate all these things for all of us to learn. And as some people are aware, there are paid apps out there that are paying or seeking from anyone a lot of money per month to subscribe. So don't be put off by this app, but bear in mind that future apps will have to charge. Not this one in particular that I'm reviewing today, but I'm just saying bear in mind that any other apps need to charge, because I think it's only fair that our language of Zimbabwe is recognized just like the Duolingo equivalent. That charges, and I think we are all deserving to do the same, to support people from Zimbabwe, to support our native heritage speakers and anyone else who develops these apps in the future. So bear in mind, I'll come back to the fact that this is a free app. So I did browse through. You will see some clips of me scrolling through and having a feel of this app. I can say from my tests, from my experience basically, that this app is beginner friendly. I can tag it personally at beginner friendly level for those who want to learn the language. So it's got key things that you'll be able to see, key things like greetings. I'll put some write-ups with when I show the video, but key things like your tenses, your pronouns, the key things that joining words, and if you're not good at English language, I'm telling you, you'll be better in your English when you learn the Shona language equivalents, because it will sharpen your understanding of your English when you learn another native. Some people say they don't know their native language, which is Shona. However, I think both languages teach you how to speak and communicate as a bilingual better, because you're aware of what the tenses are, their uses and the differences. So we need to look through every app you learn. You're not just picking it up because, well, you need to know key thing when you learn and choose a language app. How deep do you want to know or go in your language learning journey? Are you learning it as a tourist? Are you learning it because you want to impress your family members? Are you learning it for academic reasons? Are you learning it for just remembering to become more knowledgeable in your mind, to sharpen your brain and to avoid the illnesses that come with the mind in longer or in old age? So think about the key reason why you need to learn the app, and that will also kind of give you an insight into what type of app you need to learn and what resource will be useful to you in your language learning journey. I'll go back to Mazwi because I had to pick at some key points that I thought would be useful for you to know as I was browsing through, if you want to make an informed decision about how it's going to be like to use it as a user. So the signing up was straightforward. At the time of this recording, it was already on iOS. So if you're an Apple user, that's already been established. However, I'm not aware now if it's been put on the Samsung or the Android equivalent, but they were testing it when I last looked, because I've been looking through the app to give you a well-informed review. So that's the point of whether it's available on both Android or iOS users, let's just say. That's the first point. Second point, you create an account. You're able to, for those who are concerned about their details being kept, there's some write-up, and there's a help section, and you can give feedback. So there's regular updates ongoing on this free app, let's say free app. So ongoing updates are going. So the originator of this app is doing their best to update it as and when people want changes. The next thing, there's options to add requests for anything you may think is missing. And as I said, it's beginner friendly. So if you're a beginner, you will be able to add, and judging by the updates, they will be level, you could say level 1 or A1, A2 standard. That's the app levels. So if you're still learning Shona, basic level of understanding, you'll be able to learn. There's pictures, there's audio, and there's all sorts going on. So I don't want to give too much away so that you can have a look for yourselves. There's a nice progress tracker, and if you don't understand anything, you can put things back using a flashcard process. So you can always keep repeating anything you're not familiar with. And that's the good parts of it. So for those who like community, currently there's no community element, but like I said, progress is happening on the app, so that may be something they may take forward. There's no chat options because some people want to communicate with other people within the app user community. So that's another taking point that can happen in the future, but as somebody who likes community aspects, it would be good. However, like I said before, they're not capturing details of that much, so to have a community element, don't have to capture your details. So it's something to consider, but depends how you are with that element. So difficulty level, like I said, is beginner friendly, so for starters. But if you have knowledge of the language, you may find it a bit beginnerish, but if you want to pick up and have forgotten previously, I think it would be good to have and to just check a few words you may have forgotten. It's more about pronunciation and putting the basic sentences together, which is the pattern. So if you're not familiar with the order of the words in using Shona, that would be very helpful, and I think it's a good starting point to just brush up anyway. The next thing is very flexible, so you can choose how you learn using the app, because you get to choose when to repeat, when not to repeat. It's kind of ish. There is a streak, but you can also reset. So gamification is kind of ish. I'll give it a 2, but the idea is to learn the words, and depending on how your learning style is, I think it's there, but I don't know, you judge for yourself. But I think it's good. It's a good start, considering there's been very few to compare with. So as it is my first review, if you want to listen to another one, just make sure you can like and comment below and say your favorite part, because I overran. But there's also something called Ndeipi,